the series finale for the Clone Wars. Um, it's just very disappointing because I think we got some like peak Star Wars these past couple weeks. No, not the episode, not the episode. I'm just disappointed of how good it was, and it's probably the best we're gonna get in a Star Wars show. Maybe Mandalorian. From what we're hearing about Mandalorian, what's coming.
Yeah, but I don't know about peak. I think Clone Wars is the peak right now.
Yeah. I mean, what we got
that's movie quality.
Yeah, and what we got in this 4-part ending to the show,
that's so good.
It's just amazing. Dave Filoni,
that soundtrack
needs to him. I think everybody involved in Mandalorian, like Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, they need to come together, and just keep overlooking all these projects. Because, man, I mean, what between Mandalorian and just the ending of Clone Wars, that's good Star Wars. That's peak Star Wars right there.
No, and that soundtrack.
It was the same guy too. He does the Rebels soundtrack too, which we're in the last season. I'm on the last season of Rebels, so I'll probably be talking about that one soon. But man, what an ending for Clone Wars. I mean, like, just so good. You know what I mean? Just everything that you can ask for is in it. I wanted more just because of how good it was, but
it should have been longer. But I'm fine. I'm fine.
It was just perfectly, just because, and the fact that I'm so deep in Rebels right now. So I finished Clone Wars. I'm deep in Rebels, so things still are making sense for me, and I'm understanding the overall story. And oh man, I mean, what they do. Just even the last scene, right? Was just so well shot, and just everything. It's
that shot of Altano, like looking at all the helmets, and that wide shot, and it was that music. I was like,
the soundtrack was amazing,
dude. I was like, just
amazing.
Just got goosebumps.
Yeah,
I haven't felt this way since like Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, and it's just so good, man. And I kind of want to get into spoilers a little bit. So, just if you guys are not caught up yet, this is like our last segment. So we are gonna get into just Clone Wars and all that. So spoiler warning. That with Darth Vader coming out, that shot. You know what I mean?
And you kind of do see his eyes a little bit when he picks up her lightsaber. Like, I feel like you kind of see he kind of like it looked like regret a little bit. I don't want to.
It was that last moment of a little bit of Anakin, and then that's it.
And then he goes full Vader from there.
Because he's like, okay, she's dead. That's it.
Yeah, the way he was holding it, and he knows who it is.
Yeah.
And he's looking at the shit, like how the way the thing crashed and.
Yeah. And the soundtrack was amazing. Amazing. We've been hearing a lot of things with what's Lucasfilm right now. Supposedly is in this back and forth. They don't know what to do. Apparently, from what I'm hearing, from a lot of different sources that we watch and all that, and they're reliable, like Clownfish TV and all these different people. Supposedly, Lucasfilm is like in this what they say, quote unquote, like civil war of Kathleen Kennedy's camp. And Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, now they're the ones kind of like coming up right now. And then Kathleen Kennedy, they're saying it. Kathleen Kennedy's like, Bob Iger knows what's going on. And they're saying that there's just something going on there. And Kathleen Kennedy, they're saying that she has like a very loyal camp around her, people that she's hired.
Like Ryan Johnson.
And they're saying that between her and Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, because you're seeing Mandalorian, you're seeing Clone Wars, these two things are huge successes right now.
Well, her stuff are all flops.
All her stuff. She was in Star Wars Resistance.
Flop.
2 seasons. And that second season was only 8 episodes. And Galaxy's Adventures. Other things I'd never even heard of before. All that. The sequel trilogy, we all know how that went. So, and supposedly like there's this tug back and forth of who's going to end up running things. And you can just see the difference. We were watching some of the making of The Rise of Skywalker. And you have this producer that works with Kathleen Kennedy, and Chris Terrio, the co-writer of Rise of Skywalker with J.J. Abrams, said that he's never rewritten a script more in his life.
And you see it in the making with the laptop.
When you're watching the making, he has a laptop on him at all times. And him and J.J. are sitting down going through the laptop, and the producer, I forgot her name, she just looked like the
little rat,
the spy that Kathleen Kennedy sends over to make sure what they're doing. You know what I mean? Because she was just sitting there overlooking everything they were doing, like kind of looking, and then JJ looked stressed throughout the set. He didn't even look optimistic anymore. He just looked like it's done. He looked done compared to Force Awakens. Because Force Awakens,
he was super excited the way he was talking, and then. And you see this one, he was like, yeah, I can't wait. He didn't give a fuck. He was just like, he was done. Knew. And you can tell the producer was just kind of there. And because that's the funny thing, because with Last Jedi, it wasn't that way. Last Jedi was only written by Rian Johnson, full reins. Because she liked the script.
And what's going on is that there's a back and forth with Lucasfilm.
And I think that's why with the new Star Wars film with the Taika
Waititi, yeah.
The reason why it's 3 years because I think her contract is up in 2 years. So yeah. I think Bob Iger is waiting on her contract.
It's very weird because on the Star Wars website, that it's true about that female centric. And again, I'm not even saying this to be a certain way. This is literally how it's labeled when the announcement was made. It says female centric Star Wars show coming soon. And Clownfish TV, I forgot her name, but she's the co-host of the show, and she was saying, I'm a woman, and I wouldn't want to see for Mandalorian, new testosterone-driven male show coming to Disney Plus. And when she said that, I was like, wow, yeah, I guess that's a good way, just announce the show. You know what I mean? What is the show about? Is it Ahsoka Tano? Is it? Because that's what I don't get. Star Wars has great female characters. That's not an issue. There's Ahsoka Tano supposedly coming to Mandalorian and all this stuff. It's great. Ahsoka Tano's she's honestly, after watching all this, she's a great character. She's my top character. So it's and the Clownfish TV, she was saying I'm a woman. I'm all for it, but don't. Why are you? It's just using us as shields or something to just. And she was just really upset by that. It's you don't want. I don't want to see people. An announcement, why isn't Mandalorian saying a male-starred, Star Wars show? It's just oh, no, the Mandalorian show is coming to Disney+. And in the article, and this is the Star Wars website, Clownfish TV was talking about this, they announced the Taika Waititi, because I didn't know that show was confirmed, because the rumors is that Kathleen Kennedy's leaking this stuff because she wants to stay in somewhat of a power. Because they're saying that Bob Iger hasn't mentioned her in his memoirs. Bob Iger's just been really quiet. And if you notice...
he's quietly pushing it to the side.
Because the movies aren't working. At the end of the day, you're not making the studio money.
And the park didn't enjoy it. And that was her idea.
And that was her idea as well. She was the one that wanted to... for some reason, she does not like the original. She doesn't like... And maybe because it's not her doing. It's George Lucas. Because that's what they were saying. Everything with her
she wants to, I think she wants to be known for something from Star Wars. I did this in Star Wars.
I did this because that was her thing.
And that's her whole.
The
thing.
Imagineers at Disney, and they were saying how the Imagineers, they know what they're doing, and they had already for years set up everything, a layout of what they were going to do at the parks, and it was going to be Tatooine, Endor, and they were going to make it this great thing. And Bob Iger was set on it, and that they said that Bob Iger had a meeting with Kathleen Kennedy. And she had convinced him. They had a talk, and he ended up calling them and saying, "Hey, look." And Kathleen Kennedy, what she said in the meeting was, "We have so many more stories ahead of us than behind us." That was her argument, and the Imagineers were really upset, and they're like, "No, we've been working on this for 2 years. Now you want us to just start all over?" And they went out to go get drinks, and obviously, as professionals, they came back the next day and They went to work.
That sucks.
And even then, all that work that they put in for the new land, which looked great, Disney ended up cutting half the budget. And that's why people don't like it. It's
not very good.
And Kathleen Kennedy, right there. And again, Rise of Skywalker, we're watching that set. You can tell all the actors from the Star Wars sequels, little jabs here. John Boyega, I think all of them, even Ray, Daisy Ridley came out talking about they all came out and said something about Last Jedi, and they're like, yeah, we really thought it was gonna go a different direction. They know the disaster. We were watching just recently, which by the way, the Star Wars Mandalorian making of docuseries is amazing. Great. And we were watching. They had all the directors: Taika Waititi,
Bryce Dallas Howard, Deborah Chow.
Yeah, all the directors from all the episodes. It was set on them. And
you see the love of Star Wars.
Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, they're all there, and they were showing the set of Mandalorian. And who's so there different. Overseeing everything? Jon Favreau.
Seeing George Lucas on that set.
There was a George Lucas, Jon Favreau, and Dave Filoni. And Dave Filoni said it, though. I'll never forget that quote he said in the making. He was like, everything I do is for Star Wars and for what George Lucas represents as Star Wars. Like, he learned everything from him. He's like, I never feel entitled to make it my own. Like if it's just mine. Like, at the end of the day, it's his and it's his world.
Throw at Rian Johnson.
Yeah, because Rian Johnson.
And the Darth Maul voice actor.
Yeah, I was going to get into that now. But if you see the set, just watch the Rise of Skywalker documentary and then watch The Mandalorian.
So much different.
You see Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni on set. Kathleen Kennedy, yes, was there, but she looked like that,
annoying friend,
that annoying mom or something that's there that the kids are just kind of like, all right, mom, she's just there. But Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, they were saying how they were there, overseeing everything. All the directors of each episode said how if they ever had a question, they were there. Taika Waititi said that he liked the fact that he knows he can go too far out with his comedy and his style, and he really appreciated the fact that Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau were there to keep him in line with the story.
Yeah, which because I know before,
that's not what the sequels had at all.
Because I know I said before about him, like I was like, he's good. Like I haven't seen the Jojo Rabbit.
But yeah, he can go out. He can go far out.
He can go a little too much. And I like the fact that he said that, and that kind of like, okay. I like the fact that he knows that he can go too much.
Yeah.
So I think that's where the Star Wars movie, for the movie, I'm a little excited.
Yeah.
Because I know that he has people that he can ask questions.
I'm excited, but I'm also worried because what if it's not? Yeah. If it's Kathleen Kennedy, forget about it. She's not going to be there. She's going to be like, oh no, go ahead.
Yeah. If it's Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni,
and he's in good hands, yeah.
But if it's Ken, we're fucked.
That's because that's exactly what they were all saying. That's what Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni said. They all put their input, their own styles in the story, but we were here to make sure that all their styles line up within the overall story that we have. The sequel trilogies never had that because it was just Kathleen Kennedy saying, "Yeah, go for it."
Was George Lucas even on set?
I don't even know.
I think he was just pissed at him.
Why wasn't anyone else like working with Rian Johnson in the his movie?
But why wasn't Dave Filoni why was Dave Filoni
That's the thing. That's why they're saying. I think now it's becoming a thing of. He's starting to.
Someone needs to be there.
And I think he's starting to get more power right now because Mandalorian was a huge success, and he directed some episodes.
I know, and you see it like what's her name? Gina.
Yeah, I forgot her. Yeah, but I know who you're talking
about. The former UFC fighter. She was saying that if you have a question about this armor, Dave Filoni will tell you the whole backstory.
And he never had an ego. She said it was never in an ego way. Like if he knew, it was just because he was a fan. He's a fan. That's all it is. He just knows.
And you see it like in that show when he's talking about it. He's crazy about Star Wars. And
this Clone Wars ending, these 4 episodes, that's all him.
That's him just
full. Let this guy just oversee Star Wars. Give him a movie.
You know what at this point. And because I read the rumor, like when the Rise of Skywalker was coming out, that's the way Ahsoka Tano was gonna be in the movie. And I feel like if Dave Filoni created that character with George Lucas, and he wasn't gonna let
that happen.
He's like, if you fuck up Ahsoka Tano, like he would.
No.
I feel like he would say something if they messed up her character in that movie.
He would be done.
Because, dude, imagine if they killed her off or something in the movie. Yeah,
no.
Like, you imagine, like, the wrath over from Dave Filoni, like, he would go off.
Yeah, I know.
Because that's his character. Like, only he goes near that character.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why for Mandalorian, she's going to be because he's a part of that show.
Yeah. And I'm excited. And again, that's what they're saying. There's this tug back and forth. And I do think Kathleen Kennedy's going to be slowly pushed to the side.
They're waiting for a contract
even
to come
in that
up.
Star Wars article, I completely forgot this point. They announced that Taika Waititi...
and then they added her thing, right?
She wasn't even on the headline.
No.
It was Taika Waititi movie coming for Star Wars. And at the bottom of the article said... And also, Disney Plus is getting new Star Wars Disney Plus show. They didn't even put it on the headline.
She fired Colin Trevorrow. What was the other
Chris
director?
Miller, Phil Lord. Even though she let them finish 90% of the movie. So at that point, are you not paying attention? Why is that a shock to you when you're watching the dailies at 90% of the footage is done? Why are you now deciding, I don't like this?
Yeah, and supposedly that Ron Howard was brought to reach like 20%, but he ended up doing like 70% of the film.
Yeah, you have to. Because of the tone. Supposedly it was two different tones, which you can tell.
And she fired... Well, I mean, I'm glad that Boba Fett movie didn't happen.
Yeah. So...
And she didn't like the Kenobi script for the show.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about that, because that's Deborah Chow.
Yeah, man, she's good.
And she did the best... Probably one of the best episodes in Mandalorian.
The action with the
3, she did 3 and like 6 or something. She did 2 that really great ones. So I was like, what's wrong with it? What do you think is wrong with it?
Because
she denied Colin Trevorrow's episode 9.
Yeah, with this, and that was actually like
that was
better.
Way better than Rise of Skywalker.
You know why she didn't like it? Because Kylo stays bad.
And it's a little darker, a lot of prequel stuff in it. It's very Star Wars.
And it's called Duel of the Fates. Dude, oh my god.
Yeah, so
because it pisses me off.
She's clearly,
It's like your opinion to me does not matter. If you don't like the script, it's probably amazing then.
Yeah, that's exact, and that's why they're saying there's a civil war going on.
Because I'm sorry, you look at Rise and you look at the original episode 9.
I would have rather seen.
I'd rather see Colin because at least it's a sequel to 8. As I hate 8 to the bottom.
But he tried his best to continue that story, and he did it well.
And honestly, I feel like that movie could have actually redeemed a little bit. It could have been like Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith a little bit.
It could have been the Revenge of the Sith that we were hoping for, yeah.
Because Kylo stays bad. He fights Vader in a cool dream sequence. Rey stays
he had a lot of stuff, and she's actually experienced.
But and you see training with Luke, and it looked like a Jedi temple or something.
Yeah, she has the dual lightsaber.
Luke comes up with the Force Ghost. And she has like the Return of the Jedi outfit.
Everybody has a role to play.
And of course it was funny because like even in that script, Finn and Rose had like a shitty side story.
Yeah.
But which I don't care.
But you still have more roles in the movie.
But at least, and she had a dual bladed, like a dual sight, whatever it's called, which is pretty cool. Because she took the fragments. Like everything just sounds better than we got from the original 9. Oh, and. What was the writer, Chris Terrio?
Chris Terrio.
He said he kind of threw at Kathleen Kennedy.
It was her idea
to bring back
Palpatine. She's
so
terrible.
just as simple, you said that. It means you don't know anything about Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because you can't treat Star Wars like a Marvel film. Oh, just put Thanos in there or just put Palpatine. It's not. You have to like. Yeah,
the sequel trilogies to me are non-existent. They don't count. Also, they're not canon for me.
Also, the Force healing that they added completely ruins the
everything
prequels.
Else. Yeah.
Because why couldn't Yoda just force heal Padme?
Yeah.
Or which doesn't make sense because the dark side does the soul sucking crap.
So it's kind of the same concept.
Which doesn't make sense. But the good guys do the force healing. So Anakin should have stayed good then.
Yeah.
Because if Anakin stayed good,
that's more powerful.
That's more powerful. He could have force healed his mom, his Padme. So he went bad thinking, you could learn how to cheat death, but actually if you stay good, you do the force healing.
It's stupid.
So what's the difference?
Even the voice actor of Darth Maul came out.
Sam Witwer?
Sam Witwer. And he came out saying that the Rian Johnson's Last Jedi seems like a movie that by someone who didn't do their homework on Star Wars.
Very
and
nice.
He said, you can't, and there's a quote from him, you can't reinvent Star Wars
you don't know it.
If you don't fully understand it. You can't break the rules if you don't know the rules.
Yeah, he broke the rules.
And Rian Johnson was just like, I'm going to reinvent Star Wars without truly understanding it. Even as much as he claims, you can show your books on your shelf.
Didn't he hate Empire Strikes Back?
At first. He was just trying to prove a point that people are going to end up loving Last Jedi in the long run, which they're not.
But even Mark Hamill looked at him like that's
Sam Witwer quoted that. He said, he's like, Ryan Johnson.
So soon after Clone Wars ended.
Yeah.
says that, which is like
yeah,
crazy.
it was right when it ended.
He was waiting.
And we have an article on this. If you want to read the full quote and everything, we on our website cruisinf.com, we've been doing all the news posts and stuff like that. If you guys haven't checked it out already, definitely check it out. We have a article on that, on his full quote and what he was saying, because he was on a Twitch stream and he kind of just went off on it a little bit.
What, did someone ask him?
Maybe somebody asked him and he just started talking about it. It was on his Twitch and he said that. And
I wish I can see Dave Filoni's opinion.
I know.
I would love to see what he has to say. Like, just if he said that. If that means he has talked to Dave, he's good friends with Dave Filoni.
If he thinks that, the creator of Clone Wars thinks the same thing.
Yeah, that means they have talked.
Yeah. For him to say it seems like someone who didn't do his homework.
Dude, George Lucas must hate. I mean, he hated Force Awakens, so he must hate.
Just the truth. I mean, he didn't even show up for Rise of Skywalker, so.
He's probably hurt.
Yeah.
He's probably like, dude, I couldn't even finish it.
I think right now he knows, let me just support Dave Filoni. Let me support these guys that know what they're doing.
And I was thinking about this. I wonder, would Dave Filoni make a show, like away from the Skywalker, away from all that, and do a show about like George Lucas' original script about the what's it called, the Calrissians, like do something about that to where you like explain it.
But it would have to be with his story.
No, but like a completely like side like.
He could, but the sequels were meant. The sequels were based off the Skywalkers.
The Skywalker, he was like.
And in Clone Wars, it teases about Anakin and
the Mortis gods.
So he had a whole thing.
Yeah, it makes sense because I would like to see George Lucas' like way of like about the gods and how.
And we do get some of that. We get some of that, but.
I mean, I would like to see something about that, but only if Dave Filoni's touched like.
Because look how great those episodes were in Clone Wars.
Yeah, because it just sucked. Because I actually want to learn it. Because watching those episodes of Clone Wars of the Mortis guides and the light and the dark, and he's like the balance. Yeah. I kind of want to learn more about that.
It's like interesting stuff.
Because I actually like that, and it just Star Wars. Watching those last 4 episodes of Clone Wars, that's what Star Wars should be. It's very epic. It's very like poetic.
That was right? Amazing.
Like very like poetic. Because the way it ends, it's. Like it's just
it sets you off for the next story.
I know, and it's just it pisses me off seeing what they're doing to it.
Because you can see what good Star Wars can be.
Man, that soundtrack, and everything. Even with Darth Maul, like her fighting Darth Maul, that like it felt like Duel of the Fates.
Yeah,
everything
that it shows you.
And I love the callback he did to Phantom Menace, like the way he opened his lightsabers, and
it shows you what good Star Wars can be if in the right hands.
Star Wars is supposed to be epic. It's supposed to be this good stories, and they're just completely shitting on it. And at least some people at Lucasfilm are not agreeing with it. Yeah. I'm glad that they're going against Disney because Disney is really.
Yeah, no, but Lucasfilm, I think it's going through this really rough period, but I think they're going to push through.
What?
I think when Kathleen Kennedy's out, and I do think she's going to be out, I think they're going to...
It's 2 years, right, left?
Yeah, but I don't know. I have a feeling she's got to go. She's got to go.
He won't fire her.
She's got to go, but she's going to stay as long as she can.
The only way she'll... that's my worry. Just she wants to stay so bad that my worry that she's going to try to sabotage.
I don't know. She's just gonna keep doing her thing.
She's gonna keep doing her views onto things that we love, like Kenobi. I'm worried about because if she didn't like the script,
she stopped it from happening because of the script. So it's like,
So that's kind of like, oh man.
Yeah, I'm worried about that. Let's see.
But he won't fire her because of image.
No, yeah, it's gonna look like they don't know what they're doing, and it looks bad on the company. And also,
if they announce that they fired her, the fans will be like.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It'll stir up too much.
The same way, because Bob, he's like, look at what Bob Iger did with the Rian Johnson trilogy.
It's just very quietly,
but it's not gonna happen.
They never mentioned it again.
They're never gonna bring it up, and he will never announce it because why? Because
it'll stir up too much debate again.
No, because people.
It'll make people think that he's choosing a side, and then that's it. You're alienating, Yeah. But let's see. Let's see.
She has to go.
Yeah. Anything else before we wrap it up?
Fire Kathleen Kennedy, please. Oh, and David Benioff is different in DB West because they shitted on
Yeah, no, that was easier for them because they're like, okay, we'll just,
Yeah, you fucking suck.
Yeah. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're watching, thank you for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Again, we have our website is officially up. Really excited. We're having news on there, film news, game news, anything you need to know. We're posting it on there. We're also sharing it on our Twitter website as well for you guys to just stay informed. And another way for us to stay engaged and engage with you guys and stuff like that. The website is cruisinf.com, and you can also follow our Twitter, cruisin. Yeah, it's just cruisin. Not cruisin films. The @ is cruisin films. If you want to find us more specifically, and we're just putting up all of our stuff on there from the website, our episodes and all that stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to leave a like and subscribe. And until next time.